Yeah, got a new show for y'all.
Got a damn good show.
Brandon Johnson. They got right here the Honorable Johnson. Ain't nothing honorable about this dude. The mayor of Chicago.
It should have the despicable Johnson.
That's what it should have. Despicable. Traitor to the nation Johnson.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was him and other mayors from Denver, Boston. There was a congressional hearing where they're interviewing these people, having hearings about their sanctuary city status. So
yeah.
But Republicans asked some questions, and
it's pretty basic.
Mayor Johnson, I want to start with you. One of your first actions as mayor was establishing a deputy mayor for immigrant, migrant, and refugee rights. I want to ask you a series of questions. If you could answer with a yes or no answer, that'd be great. First of all, do you support allowing illegal aliens to obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no.
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes.
Man, come on, man.
Did you see his lip shaking? I'm going to play that again.
Watch out that woman in the background. What she said, are you going to answer it?
Yeah, but watch how his lip quivers.
Yeah.
That's such an easy question to answer.
Either you support that or not.
Yeah, watch his lip quiver.
To obtain driver's licenses? Just yes or no.
So the city of Chicago has been a welcoming city for over 40 years.
I'll take that as a yes. Next question.
And that's the policy that we will hold to.
Do you support tax dollars subsidizing or paying for the health care of illegal aliens?
I support investments in all residents of the people of Chicago, and that's what I do.
That's a yes as well.
They're not legal
Do
residents.
you support free or reduced college for illegal aliens?
Again, I support the investments of all residents of the people of Chicago.
Take that as a yes. Next question. Do you support allowing non-citizens to vote in local elections?
Again, I'm not over the jurisdiction of that type of law, but again, I'm committed to investing in all residents of the people
I'll
of Chicago.
take that as a yes. I've got an article from the Chicago Sun-Times, and I'll quote here briefly. Johnson proposed, among other things, that all residents, regardless of citizenship status, be able to vote for Chicago Board of Education members.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. That white man asks you a question. You can't answer. The white man answers your questions for you.
Yeah, Brandon Johnson claims that's over his jurisdiction. But these are things you're advocating for.
Yeah.
You know? And this is how they start with these little things like that. If you let these illegals vote in, like, for the board of education, stuff like that, then it's going to continue.
It's going to progressively get worse.
Yeah, it's going to progress. And before you know it, they're voting for mayor, they're voting for governor,
Before
they're
you
voting
know
for
it,
the president.
you're getting pulled over by illegal immigrants. Yeah. This
Next
is totally
question.
insane.
Your website states, and this is your campaign website, quote, "I will not stop fighting until abortion access is completely secure for people all over the country," end quote. Yes or no, do you support taxpayer-funded abortions for illegal aliens?
I support the reproductive rights of all people, all
Take
women.
that as a yes as well. Your mayoral transition website mentioned support for creating a Chicago Board of Education non-citizen advisory board. Again, yes or no, do you support appointing non-citizens to government advisory boards?
I was invited here today to discuss welcoming cities.
Yes or no?
I was invited here to discuss welcoming
This
cities.
is a yes or no
If you're
question.
interested in asking me
You're not
questions
gonna
about the
filibuster.
welcoming
I'll
city,
take that as a
I'm
yes.
happy to
We're gonna
answer
move
those
on.
questions.
He's asking you questions.
And you haven't answered them. I cannot. I mean, 6% approval rating.
Yeah.
In a blue city.
All right, so I got
That is nuts. But illegal aliens coming out country illegally under false pretenses, claiming false sanctuary in the city because they don't meet the qualifications to seek asylum, and we pay for everything.
Yeah, that's how it works. Democrats. But anyway, Jasmine Crockett, she asked some questions.
She's absolutely the worst politician in office right now.
Yeah.
She's worse than AOC.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen to the questions she asked.
Is Ms. Crockett from Texas.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair, and thank you so much to our mayors that are here. And I really quickly want to touch on something because I know that many of you prepared for today's hearing by making sure that you got a little bit of information about immigrants and crime in your cities. Let me ask each of the mayors, just yes or no, have any of you been made aware of any immigrant that has had 34 felony convictions that has still been able to roam around in your cities?
That is a false equivalence. I mean, I know you're dumb, but you can't be that stupid.
The reason why she asks questions like this because of her constituency, her voting base, they are that dumb.
Yeah, she's just placating to them.
Yes.
Wow, how can you compare those 34 felons that Trump was convicted of to other people in our country illegally that are felons?
Yeah, should you be asking the question, like, you got an illegal immigrant in your country, he's in jail, y'all release him, and he ends up raping and killing somebody. Could you explain why you doing that in your city?
Yeah.
Those kind of questions.
Can you explain that policy to me?
Yeah, can you explain the logic behind this?
Yeah.
But no, she's not. Like these Democrats, they're not looking to help the American citizen. They're not helping to make the country move forward and be great or whatever.
Yeah.
It's all about them regaining power.
Yeah.
So eventually they want to make all these illegal immigrants citizens, so they'll get their vote, and it's all about power for them. They're not after what's best for Americans.
Yeah, they're about grabbing power and getting votes.
Yeah, that's all. This is what all this is about for them. Just like last night during the president's speech, they didn't stand for not one thing.
Not one thing.
Not one thing.
They can't even stand up for the family that was grieving over their daughter who lost her life to an illegal immigrant, the kid with cancer, battling cancer.
They didn't stand not one time because they don't care about the American citizen. They just care about pushing their narrative so they can regain power.
They was even holding up signs that said Elon Musk steals.
Yeah, it's just, let's see what else this woman got to say.
Anyone?
No, ma'am.
34 felony convictions
No,
from the
Congresswoman.
immigrants. Anybody?
I'm not aware.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm just curious because we are so concerned about crime, and I know that my Republican colleagues would never want anybody with 34 felony convictions roaming around because that could be a danger.
What do Republicans not want? They don't want convicted felons in the country illegally being released back into the public after doing heinous crimes.
Let's accept the concept you're trying to share with everybody. He's a felon. What has that got to do? He's an American citizen. You're comparing Trump to illegal immigrants that are felons. And nobody actually believes Donald Trump is a 34-time felon.
How you got 34 felonies and you can get no jail time?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's white in the president. No, if you got 34 felonies.
If you got 3 or 4 felons, you're doing life.
Yeah, if these are real felonies.
Yeah. Which goes to my point that those 34 felonies carry absolutely no weight anywhere. That's why he won the popular vote. Nobody believes that.
Yeah.
The community, but I will move on.
Yeah, move
The Republicans
on,
put
bitch.
more effort into producing their little propaganda trailer for this hearing than they have into reforming
She said the Republicans got a propaganda trailer.
What do you call this?
America's immigration system. And that's why we're here today. In fact, Republicans are beating up on the vast majority of you about what you're doing for your citizens, but the last time I checked, you're actually showing up.
Your citizens.
You may or may not be aware, but the NRCC just instructed Republicans to stop their town hall meetings because their constituents were showing up and telling them to do your jobs. If I had to sum up
I'm
some
sure
of
you're
what
telling
you
the
have
truth
said
now,
thus
huh?
far today, I would sum it up as you have been trying to tell them as politely as you can to do their jobs. In fact, we know that they have not done their jobs, and so they're trying to force you to do it for them by turning your local law enforcement officers into ICE agents.
What's wrong with law enforcement helping ICE deport people
Yeah.
that's in the country illegally?
If law
Violent
enforcement,
criminals.
yeah, if law enforcement pulls somebody over, they're in the country legally, they got a warrant for their arrest. Why wouldn't local law enforcement team up with ICE? That's their job, right?
Protect the citizens of the country?
Yeah. Yeah, women
they
scare
have this
me.
fake outrage about how immigrants are stealing resources and jobs from Americans when residents of Boston, Chicago, New York City, and Denver are subsidizing public services in their districts and their states because the Republicans refuse to ensure that their
So, illegal immigrants are not stealing no resources from the American citizen. They paid like $9 billion to illegal immigrants
It's not
up
citizens.
there in New York. I
Right.
think it was either healthcare or the housing or both of them together.
Right.
In just 1 year. But they're not taking any resources.
Yeah, don't forget the money they was paying those Haitians that they dropped off in Ohio.
Yeah.
constituents earn a livable wage. Look, they don't have a plan to fix immigration in America because they don't want to. Mass deportation isn't a plan. Arresting kids in schools or worshipers in church isn't a plan.
They're arresting kids and people in church. I seen them go to a car wash and scoop up a bunch of Jose's, but did they go in churches?
Yeah. I can't stand when they make this argument. They said they don't want to fix the immigration laws. We already have great immigration laws on the books.
Yeah, you just got to enforce them.
If you're running from persecution, from communism, socialism,
Political.
war,
Yeah.
you fit the prerequisites to become a citizen or seek asylum in
Seek
America.
asylum, yeah.
But over 90% of people in our country is in our country under false pretenses. They're here for economic reasons. And I'm sorry, they do not fit the qualifications to seek asylum here in America.
Hey, she said people going up in schools, arresting kids in churches. I heard about some car washes now.
Yeah.
Some taco stands.
Well, you know what? If you're in this country illegally and you're a violent criminal and you're in a church,
By all means.
go by all
But
means.
they act like these people been in the country 10 years, they ain't never committed no crimes. Now they in church, they coming, where they at? Where Jose at? Where Jesus? They ain't doing that.
Did you hear what she said? They don't want to fix the immigration laws. The immigration laws are great. You guys are the ones that's breaking them. You guys are the ones that's creating the problem in our country. It's you people.
But there are important points to discuss as it relates to immigration in America. So, Mr. Beer, in January, you testified before the Judiciary Subcommittee on Immigration, Integrity, Security, and Enforcement. During that hearing, we played a little game called Rhetoric or Reality. Do you remember that?
I remember, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead for round two. Why don't we?
This is ridiculous.
Rhetoric or reality? Immigrants are a burden to the American taxpayers because they deplete our federal resources.
Yep.
That would be rhetoric.
Correct.
Wait a minute,
In
stop
fact,
it. That don't take billions of dollars from American citizens. That aid can't. How was that rhetoric? Didn't y'all reopen old schools in black neighborhoods that was closed? Say y'all didn't have the money. Y'all reopened them for illegal immigrants.
To house them, to feed them, to clothe them.
Yeah. Y'all didn't displace a lot of people in Ohio by dropping off all those Haitians, giving them money to buy homes, cars,
Driving up
clothes.
the cost of homes in the area.
Yeah. That's not rhetoric. That's a fact.
the Congressional Budget Office estimates that immigrants will lower U.S. deficits by a cumulative $1 trillion and increase the U.S. economy's size by nearly $9 trillion over 10 years. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And y'all say the Republicans is on a propaganda tour. Everybody knows illegal immigrants take that money and send that home to their families.
Yeah, but it's going to be resources that could have been better used for American citizens. We got homeless people. We got veterans that need a lot of help.
Yeah.
Because they serve their country.
The homeless, but that's the whole point. Our taxes go to help and provide for American citizens, not illegal immigrants.
Hey, Kim, see this?
Mr. Beer.
We need to make white people great again.
In 2023, 47 million immigrants paid nearly $652 billion in taxes, $58.1 billion in taxes alone into Texas. Rhetoric or reality? During his first administration, Trump improved enforcement of U.S. immigration laws.
He did not.
In fact, President Trump closed almost all immigration courts for removal proceedings, cut prosecutions for unauthorized entry by 87%, cut ICE removals to the lowest level in the history of the agency, and released 9,000 people with violent crime convictions back into our communities. Is that correct?
That's right. Yes.
You gotta be kidding me. These people like to lie, cherry pick, lie by omission, and cherry pick the data. They act like they statisticians, but they only reading the data to fit their narrative.
Yeah.
They're only trying to fit their perspective. Everything they said is a verifiable lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might pay into the tax system, but how many people don't?
Hey.
How many jobs did they take from American people and kill the settlers in that area because they pay them cheaper and don't pay them no benefits? That brings down wages when you have a bunch of people in the country just illegal
Yeah.
and
They
will
act-
do any job.
Yeah, let me say this. You acting like illegal immigrants are here paying taxes as if they were American citizens. You're talking about the people that actually have green cards. You're not talking about the illegal immigrant in this country.
That's a great point.
That's you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my family, my wife is from Mexico, and I know a lot of people in our family. We've been together like over 20 years,
Yeah.
and I've seen what some of her cousins do when they come to this country.
Yeah.
They put married in 10 on their W-4 whatever, and they don't take out no taxes.
The people here illegally. When I used to work at this retail store, this manager told me, she said, some of the things her husband was doing at the time, he was here in the country illegally. He would put married intent, wouldn't pay any taxes. Then he would get a ugly letter in the mail from the IRS. He would pack up, move, and change his name.
Yeah, get another fake Social Security card.
That's a great point, because this data that they're cherry picking, these people are immigrants in our country, but they're here legally.
Yeah.
More than likely.
You think they're really American citizens don't want to pay taxes, but you think illegal immigrants are paying them?
So rhetoric or reality? President Trump's immigration policies make American communities safer.
No, they don't make communities safer.
In fact,
How is that
nearly
possible?
100,000 unauthorized immigrants have obtained legal status through their cooperation with law enforcement. And local law enforcement agencies have more than 300,000 pending requests for immigrants seeking legal status based upon their cooperation with law enforcement, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Is that correct?
That's right. Immigrants work with law enforcement to stop and solve crimes.
Thank
Legal
you. That was one of my
immigrants.
rhetoric or reality questions. Sorry. The
There's a distinction between legal and illegal.
Yeah.
Of course, legal residents, legal immigrants is going to call the cops.
Man, let me tell you something. What up?
The question was, immigrants without legal status can help stop crime. That's correct.
Yes,
right?
that's
All
correct.
right.
There you go.
And Mr. Beer, isn't it true that Republicans are threatening to illegally strip cities of law enforcement grants intended for local policing and public safety if they don't go along with Trump's immigration agenda?
That's right. They want to redistribute the fiscal burden onto the Democratic cities and away from the Republican ones.
Which
Why
brings me
not?
to
Why not? Y'all play those same games.
Yeah. Why should we send you funding if you're aiding and abetting illegal immigrants coming to our country under false pretenses? Why should we give you federal funding to help provide for those people? They're not our citizens.
Yeah.
Why
To
are
my
you taking
next
money
point,
away from
Mayor
your
Adams,
citizens?
do you believe that President Trump is weaponizing the Department of Justice against local governments like New York City?
As I stated publicly,
Tell them what to say.
Don't say that. He was cooperating with Trump, right? Yeah.
thank you for the question, Congresswoman. And as I indicated previously, this case is in front of Judge Ho, and I'm going to allow the judicial process to go forward.
That's an attorney right there.
Well, let me ask it a different way. There was a quote from Mr. Well, he had to get advice. So can I just get a...
What's that?
He was getting advice. So can I get a little bit of time? I didn't interrupt while he was getting advice.
Because they were advising him. Go ahead.
Okay, this is the last one. There was a quote from Mr. Homan, I believe, where he said he will be in your office and up your butt
What?
if there was a problem with whatever agreement. We don't know what it was. My question to you, I know you've been asked about it a couple of times today, is was he lying when he said that you made an agreement that would cause him to be up your butt if you failed to uphold your end of it?
And gentlelady's time's expired, but if the mayor wants to answer,
Oh,
they can.
come on.
Uh,
She's going after him because he doesn't like illegal immigrants in New York. It's
And
destroying the city.
He even came out and said it's going to destroy the city.
Yeah. So that's all that is.
Congresswoman, I answered that question, and it appears as though we're asking the same questions over and over and over again. My comments are not going to change. No quid pro quo, no agreement.
There you go.
Nothing wrong.
Chair,
You asking the same questions over and over and over.
Yeah, Democrats are just a bunch of weasels.
Yeah, they lie
Wicked.
about mission. They cherry pick the data.
They misrepresent what's going on.
I'm telling you, Democrats are walking fallacies.
Yeah, and they're trying to destroy this great nation.
Yeah.